everyone. This is John Rollins, and we're here for our weekly S.T.R.I.V.E session. Strategies to remain informed, strategies to remain victorious, strategies to remain empowered. And if by any means that you caught that first version, I had to cough, and I didn't want to do it on the video, so I apologize, but we're back. So anyway, our topic for this evening is it's harder than it looks. And how many times have you watched someone perform an action or complete a feat, and you thought to yourself, that looks easy. I can do that. I can do that. And after, or in many cases, during your initial attempt, you found yourself in a very uncomfortable and embarrassing heap. The outcome for you, when you tried to ice skate, you ended up with a bruised tailbone. When you want to jump that row of garbage cans on your dirt bike, or you want to flip that skateboard, or maybe roll down what do they call those things? The sidewalk with the rails, the railing. You ended up in a sling, your arm in a sling, or it didn't turn out for you the way that it did on the video. And there's a reason why they have on those videos, those professional videos that are humorous, and says these disclaimers, please don't try this at home. Or they may say something like, this was a closed course with a professional driver. So I know that there are so many people who, when they see other people perform, they think, man, I can do that. So you have people who stand in line for hours for the opportunity to be the next American Idol, or become that next sensation on America's Got Talent. And many times you find individuals who are those diamonds in the rough. These are the individuals who, when they get that opportunity, they shine, they sparkle. Okay, but what I do know is that when the people on TV do it, it seems so easy. But for a lot of us, what we do is we are riding down the road with our friends. We have the radio turned up loud, and we're singing out loud, and everybody sounds good. Or you may be singing to your pet in the shower, and your pet doesn't say anything to you. Or you may be at the holiday party, and everybody's feeling good, and you have the karaoke machine out, and people were telling you how good you sound, and you thought to yourself, I might have a gift. No one else complained, and it sounded okay to me. The professionals, however, the individuals who make it look so easy, often they have a secret that not many people are aware of, and even fewer people are able to duplicate. What they don't often share with us, with the world, is that before it became easy, it was more difficult than anyone can ever imagine. They spent hours, years, decades getting to the place before they were willing to step out and present themselves to the world. There are stories of individuals, of course, who are naturally gifted. The first time out of the gate, they come out and they're hitting all strides. I may have shared with you all before. My son, the very first time he wanted to learn to ride a bike, the very first time we took off his training wheels, he took off. And he rode ever since then. Now, he knew how to ride. He just didn't know how to stop. Okay? But there's some individuals who the very first effort, the very first attempt, they come out because they have good genetics. But that will only open the door for them. In order for them to walk through the door, and in order for them to secure a place in the room and to remain there, there's much more required than just natural gifting, natural talent. There's several well-known athletes, people such as Kevin Durant, Tim Tebow, and some others who've been quoted as saying, hard work will beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think that statement is pretty self-explanatory. You may have all the giftings in the world, and we see it so often. The people who, they just seem naturally gifted in a particular area. And many times they rely on that gifting more than they rely on the effort and the talent and the practice and the discipline. And that talent, that gifting is good. But many times it will only get you a spot. It will not secure you that longevity. I don't know who the original person was who made that quote, and somebody said it was a high school quote, but I do believe that there's some truth to the statement. If we're not willing to commit to the effort, the work that's required, we don't remain in that place. As I stated before, the really good ones make it look easy, but it's not something that anyone can just strike out and do. with the same efficiency, the same effectiveness. There's a gift for those who are able to make the challenges of professionalism and make it enjoyable to us. But they do it in a way they make it believable. They make us think that we can go out there and do it. I'm amazed by Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a guard with the Golden State Warriors. 5'9", 5'10". Well, he's probably 6 feet, maybe 6'1". I'm not sure. But the way that he dribbles the ball, and now you see little children going out there and practicing. They think, man, if I can do what Steph does. But Steph is a professional, and you will see him repeatedly, even in pregame warmups, practicing every level, every aspect of that gift. And he makes it look so easy. He makes us believe that we can go out there and do it. And I'm amazed at those individuals. I'm a huge fan of practice, but the old saying, practice makes perfect, that's not necessarily true. Practice may make improvement. Consistent practice, especially if the form is correct, the technique is sound, will make better. But practice is no guarantee that we will achieve perfection. Now, I can give you this guarantee. I guarantee you that if you do not practice, there's no way that you're going to achieve perfection, and it's highly unlikely that you're going to see much improvement. Okay, so this old thing, man, they make it look so easy. There's a reason that they make it look easy. I'm thinking, when I think about practice, I'm reminded of a story from Lori Beth Jones, and I think it was Lori Beth Jones that I heard talk about this. She's the author of Jesus Life Coach and Jesus CEO. She tells a story, and again, I think it was Lori Beth Jones who said this, about how her parents had her on the path to becoming a professional tennis player. And so for years, she practiced and she competed in tournaments. And if I remember the story, one day this was after a long and grueling practice, her coach pulled her to the side and said, Lori Beth, one day you're going to make a really good author. And what he was saying is, Lori Beth, I know that you have the heart. I know that you're willing to put in the effort. Okay, but there's something that's missing for you. So she did all the practice, okay, but that was outside of her gifting. Living life as a winner in any facet of our life, for most of us, requires more than an occasional attempt to rise above, remain above the crowd. We have to put some effort into it, consistent effort, persistent effort. Okay, and I believe that when you see individuals who have made that commitment to the effort, those are the ones who make it look easy. But it's harder than it looks. If you see a couple with a good relationship, I promise you, it's harder than it looks. The person who has those rock hard abs, in most cases than not, and again, I know the genetics has a role to play in this, but in more cases than not, that person has made a commitment to his health, to her health, made a commitment to their wellness. As much as they love the sweets, as much as they love the snacks, in most cases, they have employed discipline in their lives. Marathon runners are not developed overnight. Championship, award-winning musicians, they've normally worked on their craft for years, decades. We're all familiar with the prodigy. We know the person who, as I said earlier, they're the naturally gifted, supernaturally gifted, once-in-a-lifetime individual. But for the people we know, the people who are in our circles, most of us have to discipline ourselves in order to have any glimmer of the success that we admire so much in others. Now, more often than not, this applies to all the areas of our lives, including our spiritual walk. On occasion, we may cross paths with someone who seems to walk in Christ's sandals. Okay, we may see that person. Okay, that person may have gracious speech. And like Job said, they may have covenant with their eyes, so they weren't going to look at things that they shouldn't be looking at. They've established and they've maintained those boundaries for themselves. Evangelist Billy Graham, I think, was one of those people, and I've never met him personally, but he established some boundaries, and he lived up to those boundaries according to what I've heard from others who walked with him. But I can assure you, if you were to ask him, or if you had asked him when he was around, he would have told you it wasn't easy. I'm sure he had to establish some limitations. He had to monitor, measure, set up some safeguards, put them in place to make sure that he stuck with the things that were important to him to make it look so easy for him. Okay. And in order for him to have the walk that he had with the walk, he had to spend time in prayer, study, fasting, He had to spend time alone. He had to spend time away from other people who he probably would have enjoyed being in their presence. So if we want to have that life that makes it look so simple, that makes it look so easy, we're going to have to do the same things. A life of success, regardless of how you define success, is available. Yes, absolutely. But I think that everyone who wants to experience that success must acknowledge and be willing to put forth the effort to discipline themselves to achieve the goal that they desire. Because I assure you, it's harder than it looks. All right. Hey guys, this is John with the S.T.R.I.V.E session. Strategies to remain informed, strategies to remain victorious, strategies to remain empowered. All right. And so we end our day today the way that we love to do. It's been a week since we were together. And if you've not had someone to come into your life, someone who can affirm you, someone who will remind you of your greatness, let you know just how wonderful you are, and to share with you that their world would not be the same if you were not in it, then I welcome the opportunity to remind you that today, tomorrow, and forever, okay, you are important. Yes, you are. Okay. Y'all be blessed. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. All right. Bye.